If we are not sanctified, we cannot so much sanctify others. If we do not believe in this grace, we cannot so much make others believe. To be effective in preaching, I tell you, the best preaching is the way you live your life. And so many have failed in that. Good day to all of you. This is again Father John, team moderator of the team ministry of Our Lady of the Sacred Heart Parish, sharing to you some reflections on the gospel reading today. It tells us, but when it comes, the Spirit of truth, He'll guide you to all the truth. The Spirit of truth is in this church, in the Church of Jesus Christ, because it is the church who preserves the truth. It is called the deposit of faith, that the traditions given to us by Jesus Christ to His apostles and to the apostolic fathers and to the fathers of the church and on and on and on are still the same. We are being guided and we teach what was taught before. And that is why there is the Apostles' Creed. It is called the Creed of the Apostles because the Apostles made that creed. We can never be swayed into other forms of teachings because what we have to follow the original teachings of the church. And we also have the Holy Spirit to guide us. So, He will glorify me, the Holy Spirit, because He will take from what is mine and declare it to you. We will never be lost. So that is why we need the Holy Spirit in our lives. The Holy Spirit comes. It is the sanctifier for us to understand when the Holy Spirit comes to you by virtue of the sacrament of baptism. You are sanctified. And all the sins that you have committed will be erased. And even the stain of the original sin of our foreparents are going to be erased. Sanctifying grace makes us strong. It comes from the Holy Spirit. And that when we serve God, we should always be in a state of sanctifying grace. Because if you are not in the state of sanctifying grace, it is very dangerous. As it is said, be sober and alert. Your opponent, the devil, is prowling like a roaring lion seeking for someone to devour. And if you are not in a state of grace, you might be devoured. And no matter what you do, it will not be as effective as the saints, as those who are in sanctifying grace. We should not forget that. They were not allowed to go to the ends of the earth unless the Holy Spirit had already descended upon them. In other words, the activation of the church, the sending now of the apostles can be seen when the Holy Spirit descended on them. Now, sometimes, we are not very serious about being always in the state of sanctifying grace. And I would suppose that is why we are not so very well effective in the way we proclaim the gospel. But that is a requirement. The saints are very effective because they cannot sin anymore. They have decided in their lives and they have disciplined themselves, fasting and prayer, penitence, and all that. As you know, the disciples were not just praying, they were fasting, they were waiting for the Holy Spirit to come. They were prepared. And that is why there is the mandate of the Pope for the reawakening of the Holy Spirit in our lives. For us to know that we need so much the powers and the gifts and the fruits of the Holy Spirit in our lives, so that we will have the joy of the Holy Spirit, so that we will have the perseverance of the Holy Spirit, so that we will have the courage of the Holy Spirit, and we will become very good proclaimers of the good news. We are supposed to be synodal now, but we have to be effective in the program of synodality in the church. We have to do it with our sanctification. If we are not sanctified, we cannot so much sanctify others. If we do not believe in this grace, we cannot so much make others believe. To be effective in preaching, I tell you, the best preaching is the way you live your life. And so many have failed in that. We are supposed to edify the church. Let all communities, let all covenanted communities, let all charismatics, let all religious organizations, mandated or whatever, come back to the church. Because the church is being attacked. It is the church that is being attacked. And if we do not want to become like other nations, we have to come together in communion, in participation, and in reaching out to the poor.